What's up, guys? Back here with another Q&A. So answering a few more of your pressing questions in the office here. So no beer, but this will do. So without further ado, let's get to it. Question number one: do you already have your next Misogi planned? I do not. So I'll probably plan that in December, if anything. So for those that don't know, it's essentially just like an event or a thing you do that's really difficult and challenging. The odds are 50-50 of you even doing it in the first place or getting to do it. So nothing like that planned. This year I did my fight in June, so we'll see what we have for next year. I won't decide that until probably like, I don't know, December or January of next year. Question two: you could have dinner with one person, living or dead, real or fake, no language barrier. Who would you pick? I mean, Nicole Tesla would be cool. Nietzsche. I think both those people would be interesting to kind of talk to. I don't know what to ask either of them. Question number three: do you train all people using the same methods or techniques? Similar methods, different techniques, if that kind of makes sense. So everything's based around the conjugate system. For newer people, we do like a linear periodization, which essentially just means we're going to try to increase weight every single week, or reps, or both, like a double progression, depending what we're doing. And the reason for that is like if you're new, you don't need anything fancy. You just kind of need to add some weight to the bar or add repetitions depending on how raw your movement is. So for newer people, I like to do a ton of reps, like 10, 15, 20 a lot of times. Especially in the warm-up, we'll do a lot of bodyweight exercises to kind of get the body primed for what we're doing, but also just to get more movement. I don't really like just doing like a treadmill walk like you can on your own time, but if you're paying me for an hour, I'm not going to take 10 minutes of the hour doing the rower with you, for example. So essentially, yeah, so we use very similar methods or techniques. The techniques are what changes kind of the most, maybe more than anything. Then obviously the specificity of the person. Next question. So do calorie needs change over time, even at the same body weight and nutrition goal? Cutting, gaining, maintaining. Yes, they will change. I actually have data on this. So my calories change. One thing that really affects calories that people forget is body mass. So not even just lean body mass or your muscle mass, but your total gross body mass. So for example, just being heavier, you're going to need more calories, right? Even if it's fat or muscle, if you're the same person and you're 30 pounds heavier, you're going to need to be eating more if all other things stay the same. And then same thing vice versa. So if you're a lot lighter, you're going to need less calories typically. So when you're dieting, if you're losing like 10, 15, 20 pounds, you're going to have to make adjustments. Same thing with changes in activity level will kind of influence it a lot. If it's minor, like if you walk an extra 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 maybe steps a day, like you probably don't got to change much. But if it's drastic increases or decreases activity, you're definitely going to need some changes there. So those would be important to kind of keep in mind. Next question. Any recommendations to help increase focus and discipline? So increasing focus, just removing distractions is a big thing. So if you know your phone's going to be something you open up, put it across the room. That'd be one thing, for example. If you know you're going to want to turn the TV on, if you have the TV in that room, go somewhere without the TV in that room. Having a dedicated workspace is also great. So, being like, this is the desk I always do work at or always read at or whatever. That's awesome. I think there was like a writer, I forgot who it was. They said basically they put like an hour or 2 or 4 hour block, whatever it was, in their day where they had to sit in front of the typewriter or in front of the computer, whatever it was, and they had to write or they had to sit there and write. And so oftentimes, they could just sit there and do nothing was a rule, but you had to sit there. So you either sit there and write or you sit there for 4 hours, but you have to do it uninterrupted. So I think that's a good rule too. Just have no distractions and have a dedicated workspace. In terms of increasing discipline, it's just like being relentless with your action and not letting anything stop it more than anything. I mean, there's excuses to do to not do everything pretty much. Having a calendar helps a lot with that because then you minimize the amount of excuses you have. People kind of like make stuff up when they feel like not doing something right. Like, well, today was a little busier than usual, whatever. If it's in the calendar, you get used to doing it. Be relentless with it. Don't slack for any reason. And you need either yourself or somebody or a higher power, whatever the fuck you need, to hold you accountable, right? So if you work a long day, you have to stay late, you're extra tired, blah, 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 and you didn't get to work out when you got to work out in the morning because whatever happened, and now you have to do it at night, even if you got to shorten that workout in half, you need to go and do it. Like, you need to do the thing. Even if it's a lower capacity, you need to do the thing. If your thing is like just showing up at the gym, which is a stupid goal in my opinion anyway, but if that's your goal, go there, check in, and leave. Like, do the action, at least to some capacity, because that's going to kind of add up along the wrong one. And what you'll notice too in that example, like if you go to the gym and you're like, okay, I'll leave now, typically you'll be like, well, I could just do like 10 minutes. And then after that, you'll be like, well, I can just do another 5 minutes, I'll do some biceps. And then you got a 15-minute workout I didn't expect. So that's the big thing too. It's just like, you don't have to be super hardcore about it. I think people think like it's this constant David Goggins mindset where everything's like crazy and you got to be mad at the world. It's just like, you just got to want yourself to improve. And the only way to do that is by just keep on doing it. I mean, there's not very many people that tried something incessantly and never quit that didn't succeed. You know what I mean?